Hey y'all, so this video is just going to be on like basically gratitude for the path, and the path is whatever is your path, you know what I mean? And just like a snowflake, everybody has their own individual path, and I don't think we take enough time to be grateful for it. So I just wanted to talk about like I'm grateful for, just even getting insight into all the things that I've been able to get insight in these past these past few years, and even just growing up, just being able to grow up and just see life in a whole other way is, you know what I mean. I definitely That's a gift I wouldn't ask to get. It's a gift I wouldn't even think of asking to get. When I was a little girl, and I grew up Christian, you know what I mean? When I was a little girl and I was growing up Christian, I would pray for wisdom, and I do feel like that prayer is getting answered. I do feel that. So just know that, not so much the praying part, not so much the indoctrinated part or anything like that, but when your heart is in a pure state, like a kid's heart or whatever, and you really just know that when it's really in your heart space, it will manifest. Like when it's really in your heart space, it will manifest. You'll see it manifesting. And just really ask. I've been taking more time now to ask myself, okay, well, what is my intention behind doing this? What is especially with social media? Oh my gosh. Like, I really have to check my intentions with social media, because there's so many like ego stuff involved sometimes, a lot of times, all the time. So I gotta check myself on that social media stuff. But even like when I'm drawing my paintings, or even when you're dancing, or when you're singing, or whatever it is, driving, whatever, you gotta check your intentions on it, and you want to really make sure that it's coming from, a pure space. Doesn't always have to, and hey, a pure space does not mean a good space or like a positive space, or you know whatever it is that you want to manifest. Let's not get like too out of control here or anything like that, with like, or get out of control, whatever. Like, that's none of my business. All I'm saying is that a pure space, a pure heartfelt hatred, a pure heartfelt love, a pure heartfelt desire, or whatever, like, at least for me, maybe it doesn't work like that for everybody, but at least for me, you know what I mean, it's going to manifest if it comes from a pure space, and there's that heart, like, power behind it. So I guess that's a way to. Okay, so that's a way to manifest from your heart chakra, and I gotta look. I'm gonna put the video down below. So, any teachers I hear coming out of my mouth, check the video down below. I'll find it or something. If I don't find it, I'll make a little message here like I just did right now. Okay. But I'm grateful that this path has taught me that. Like, it's through my path that I'm able to know or even learn about how to activate that. So that's a really good thing to know. So yeah. And it's just little stuff like that. And it might not always seem like things are going the way you think they should go, but even when you clean a house or clean a room or anything like that, When you got to take your junk out and move and everything like that, it's not a clean process. It's not going to look clean until you go through all your stuff. So if you keep running away from your stuff, and your stuff is psychological, it's subconscious, it's, you know what I mean, it's inner work. So either you keep running away from your inner work just because you don't want to get messy, or you go in there and you get messy with it, like, and it's not going to look pretty. It's not supposed to look pretty when you're cleaning. Like, when it comes to cleaning and getting stuff together, it's not supposed to look. It's not supposed to look all pristine, and it's not going to be pristine. And when you go in there with that mindset, then you are more, you see what I'm saying? You're more emotionally prepared to handle and to just chill and to know what you need. Like, okay, I need my vitamins today. Like, I already know I'm feeling this type of way because I haven't been putting the right nutrients in my body. I haven't fasted. I haven't detoxed. So I end up saying things and doing things and emotionally not being ready for the things that are really nothing to be stressing about. It's usually nothing to be stressing about. So you got to know what it is that you got to do for you. And I also feel that there's, even if you consider yourself a God or a human, even if you just consider yourself a human, right? It's complicated being human. It's never just one thing. I can't just tell you, oh, manifest. This is how you manifest using your heart space, and that solves all your problems. No, it's more complicated than that. And some days you don't feel like drinking water. You might want to just eat apples all day or something. So it's important to have these different variations and these different techniques to de-stress yourself as well. It's not just one technique. It's not just breathing. It's multiple different types of breathing, And like, I don't always feel like doing a certain Kundalini meditation. Sometimes I feel so low or so depressed, I don't even feel like I can get up to meditate. So you have to find the trick or the acupressure point. You have to find simpler solutions sometimes. I might not always have the money to get my vitamins. I gotta find a simple solution to keep me in balance when that happens. How do I need to breathe? How are things? What symbols can I put in the room, or what sigils, or what things are gonna help bring more of that frequency, energy, vibe that I need to feel this right now, and then team up on that. That's another thing. When it comes to these serious cleanup problems, like it might be relationships, it might be finances. It's something you got to block on. Like, okay, if it's not showing up abundantly in your life, there's some psychological block that you have to face. So there's some demon or block or whatever you want to call it that you have to face, right? And you have to kind of like trick it and trick yourself. So you don't just, it might need more than sage, even though sage is a great place to start, but it might need more than sage. It might need colors, it might need symbols, it might need smells, it might need certain herbs. When it comes to digging out and really stopping like these blocks. And you got to understand that when you're gathering this stuff, every time you're gathering an item, you're thinking about it too. Like, you're putting some like nurture or care into the fact that you're going to figure this problem out for yourself, instead of just ignoring the problem. And this is why you create rituals for this type of stuff. You're going to have a whole ceremony of you debunking this block, like killing this block that has been stopping you from your abundance in your life. If you got to create a whole ceremony for that, then that's what needs to happen. So that's why, like, it could get pretty complicated. because dependent, and you figure out what the problem is. And then, take some time to just be grateful that you can look on this outer view of your life and move some pieces around to get it to start working the way you want it to work. Yeah, that's a really nice thing. So you use these tools to keep you in check and to keep it running. You got to figure out, you're a machine, and you have to figure out how you work. So this is what they mean by like, know thyself. Okay, this scent gives me this feeling. This scent gives me that feeling. These herbs do this, these herbs do that. This is why like this, figuring all this stuff out is going to be the cleaning part, is the messy part. And that's when you lose people, gain people, lose money, gain money. That's when, because you're trying to figure it out. What makes you take what you need in your life, XYZ. So that includes the dark stuff too. It includes all that dark stuff too, and you can't just ignore it. You have to face it. And if you don't want to face it, then you just don't know about yourself like that, in that sense or that way. And it's not a good thing or a bad thing. That's just what it is. Yeah, but it's just imagine the amount of time, like, it's like basically you're trying to figure out the manual for yourself. So imagine if you could just read the manual and then you just save so much time trying to figure it out. But even if you could just read the manual, you know what I mean? It's like when you go in the car, when you go on the phone, you still got to try it out. Like you still got to try out the app, the different ways that it, God, man, I'm really not a techie. But you know what I mean? Like you try some stuff out, how to like sync certain things so that you can use it. So even that process is messy. Even if you could just read the manual and just know. And I'm sure there is a way to read the manual. The manual is your natal chart. But you got to figure out how to read it, because that's a whole other language, low key. So you got to take time out to learn this new language of self. It's messy, but it's worth it. I mean, I'm happy that mine is the way it is. Some people might have been blessed with parents who already have it so that they know this type of information. Some parents really don't. Some people don't find out till 40, whatever. But I think whatever age we're at or whatever part in our lives that we're at, you just got to be grateful that you at least know or have at least been introduced or at least have been around this information to make your life go a lot more easier. Even though it's really not easy. It's tough too. Like either way is tough, but it's like if you want to get there without all the like the extra stuff, or like you could just do this different type of difficulty level. It's like you could play this game easy, hard, medium, and I wouldn't say that this is the easy level, but I mean I like it. I like the level, so yeah, I hope that makes sense. And I think that's a good way to start off a good new moon. Like, just do a video or write down or something, or just feel how grateful you are for being on your path and learning what you're learning right now, and the mistakes that you've made, and just all the bittersweet stuff, just all of it together. Because too sweet give you diabetes, right? So that's just how I feel about it. So, all right.